From Sebastian W, who the other day, we had a 10K row showed up. So, setting aside for a moment the permanent emotional damage inflicted by last week's 10K row, any advice for dealing with torn calluses and blisters? My hands are decently well maintained in terms of calluses, but this was something different entirely. I will spare you the details, but holding anything has been challenging this week. Thoughts for hand maintenance or rowing or just.
So that the whatever you experience from the row, I also will say that when we had to row, it was a half marathon
Oh, at the
at the
games that you did
games.
it?
I was not prepared that my hands also just got destroyed, and so did everybody else's in like the weirdest, like up here instead of like down here, all over the place. So know that you're not like that was expected to happen. I think the sweat from just
I think the
sitting
sweat's a
on
big deal.
that handle for so long. So I think that's probably a unique thing that you wouldn't see all the time if you're just rowing not quite so long distances. But as far as like overall, I haven't taken care of my calluses in a very, very, very long time. But when I used to rip when I was little, I always used to use tea bags. That was kind of like a gymnastics thing.
What?
You'd get when the skin like fell off and that burning sensation, they sting so bad, right? You put a tea bag on it that's already been soaked in water because there's something in the tea that like helps it heal faster, but they do stain. So we always would like take an old sock, put the tea bag on, and wrap the sock around. It stings very bad when you put it on, but it by the next day it does seem to help a lot, and it takes that like pain out. It's called like it
Is this,
starts with a T, something in the T, Tennyson or something that starts with a T that is what is doing its
is
job, I
this
guess.
witchcraft? Is this
I think
real?
so. No, like I think it's like an old gymnastics thing from the 80s and 90s. I have no idea if anybody does it anymore, but that's what we used to do.
Oh my goodness,
So
that's
I've
crazy.
done that a few times, but I haven't torn or ripped in such a long time.
When you, oh, well, I've got something for the row that I'll try to remember, but when people rip, I guess here's my question for you. When you're doing a big set of pull ups in the pull up bar and you're kipping, regular or chest to bar, whatnot, and you grab the pull up bar, is your hand staying in the same position the entire time, or do you allow a little like a little tension off, tension on to
I
keep
allow
it?
mine to move around because I feel like if I keep it like locked on there, then you can feel the skin tug if you're really paying attention, if you can hit it close enough. Once that tug happens, it's too late. You already have a blister, and then if you do it again, like it's gonna rip off. So I always like to move mine around. And if it's a super big set, I just don't risk that anymore. It's not worth it to me. I don't want to tear up my hands and not be able to take a shower and
So dry hands are obviously good. Now I know you don't that makes sense on the pull up bar, but not so much on the rower. But I'll tell you what, we've had some people who have been around Linchpin for a while. The 10K rows come up before. I saw some people who were like, "I'm not playing these games, even if I have to stop." They had a towel next to them, where they're like, "Look, I'll take the 15-second slower time. I'm going to save my hands. I'm going to stop, towel off, chalked up again, get them dry, went again." And on the rower too, you can let your hands go every now and then a little bit. Instead of just, I don't know if you're just death gripping for a 10K continuous, and then they got wet and you never let go. I can see that happening. I will say I haven't torn for a really long time in my hands either. But what I do is not super technical or complicated. But after the shower, when your skin feels whatever it is, I'll take literally just a set of whatever these are, toenail or fingernail clippers, and I just cut chunks out of my skin, which I guess is, you're removing skin, but should be doing that with a file or whatnot. I just do it like that. It works really well. It's simple. I do it after a shower. It doesn't cause any pain. And if I stay on top of that, my hands treat me really well.